We are what? We are who? We are what? Vibrant. We are who? 50 plus. Hi, welcome to Gray Lives on the Rise. I am your host, Professor Jamila Franklin, and we are coming to you from Oyende Enterprises, being sponsored by Jamila Sense, which is our product line of aromatherapy products that helps heal the mind, body, and soul. And we are bringing to you Alamaj's rebirthing program, as well as Jamila Sense, and a host of wonderful programs that will help heal your body, heal your soul, and heal your mind. 50 plus people, we are here to stay. Gray Lives on the Rise. We are what? We are who? We are vibrant, and we are here to stay. Join us for our wonderful episodes. Thank you, and continue to look for our episodes weekly, being brought to you again from Oyende Enterprises and Jamila Sense. See you soon.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome again to another wonderful episode of Great Lives on the Rise. And today we have the beautiful Felicia Jackson, and we are sporting our Great Lives on the Rise t-shirt. Felicia has hers, I have mine, and we're twinning today. So we both have on our whites. Okay. Now, Felicia started her journey in a fast-paced fashion world where she spent nearly 20 years as a designer and creative director. Yet her passion for health and wellness eventually led her to her new career and path. She knew she wanted to do something different with her life going forward. And the question was, what gets me excited? Fashion has always been her passion, but she grew out of the industry as she grew older, and she wanted to find a purpose that connected her with other women. And that's what's really good about Felicia. She's not focused only on self. That's the reason why she's here on our podcast, because she's thinking about others. And that's my mission. I love to think outside of myself. And there are people who don't, they just stay narrowly focused. But she wanted to do something to contribute to humankind and to women over 50. Over the years, she made her own health and wellness a priority. And so in turn, she managed to alleviate the perimenopausal symptoms that she was suffering from. And then let me tell you, if you're going through that, you need to talk to Felicia. If you're having those hot flashes, you're having those personal summers, ladies, you need to get in touch with her, because those personal summers are no joke. Your husband is turning up the air, right? And no, turning down the air rather, and you're turning up the air because you're burning up from inside with the hot flashes. So she knows what it's like, and she wanted to help other women find relief like she had found. And health coaching seemed the natural avenue for her after having worked on her own symptoms. And so she wanted to help others. And so she took the leap and decided to make her lifestyle her new career and become certified as an integrative nutritional health coach. And her goal is to help other women who are struggling with perimenopause. And that is no joke. Sometimes you want to eat a whole room filled with chocolate. And sometimes you want to strangle your mate because they're getting on your nerves. You know, those hormones are doing that with perimenopause. So she wanted to address the physical symptoms and the mental and emotional symptoms, which is important, because sometimes women think they're going crazy because you're having these mood swings and you're used to being in control of your emotions. But with this, you're having mood swings and you're doing things, you're becoming overly emotional and saying and doing things that are out of character. So she combined her creative background with her wellness expertise to offer a unique, holistic approach to women's health coaching. And I love that, because holistic approaches and holistic medicine, that is me, right? Rather than depending upon pharmaceuticals. And her mission is to empower perimenopausal women to take charge of their well-being, rediscover their vitality, and live their best lives. Having navigated her own perimenopausal journey, She knows firsthand the power of healing from within. It always starts from within, everyone. Men, you should listen too, because you need to understand why your wife is off the chain sometimes. Okay? It's hormonal. And she believes every woman deserves to thrive during midlife, not just survive. So together with her clients, she will focus on small, manageable lifestyle shifts that are both simple and sustainable. Because if you're taking these big jumps, you're not going to sustain that, because it's too much. So she's taking you in bite-sized incremental steps, which is wonderful. And by balancing hormones through diet and nutrition, movement, stress reduction, prioritizing mind-body connection, you would tackle with Felicia the the frustrating symptoms of perimenopause, like weight gain. Now, before perimenopause, you can eat a gallon of vegan ice cream. I'm vegan. You can eat a gallon of ice cream, right? Or whatever you used to binge on. It wouldn't gain a pound. When perimenopause happens, things shift, okay? So she is someone who can help you with that. Like I said, hot flashes, fatigue, brain fog, which is a serious issue, because you're thinking and you're like, what was I thinking? What? I came into the room. Why did I come into the room? Brain fog, anxiety, insomnia, and even those less discussed challenges like acne, thinning hair, and joint pain. She also emphasizes the importance of a midlife reset and rediscovering an appreciation for who you are. Listen, babies, you're not going to fit into those jeans you used to fit into when you were 20. Give it up. It's not going to happen. So she's having you reset your mind because you're beautiful where you are. You don't need to fit into those jeans at this stage. What you're going to do is show your voluptuous figure. You need to fit into those jeans. And so she's cultivating every area of your life to help you create lasting improvements to your health and wellness that will carry you into the years to come. She's having you do self-reflection and having you love the skin you're in, love the body you're in, right? Together with Felicia, you can create a personalized plan to restore harmony to your body and mind, addressing your physical health and mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And her purpose is to have every woman, not just one. She's on this mission. Wonderful. Every woman conquer her perimenopause symptoms and have a life where she wakes up with a body full of energy and a clear, focused mind. And as she goes to bed at night, looking forward to tomorrow instead of dreading it. Yes, Felicia! Hey, Felicia! Yes! I'm so happy.
You get it. You get it. It's so.
Yes.
I think that most women who are over 40 get it.
Yeah. We may as well get it because, you're not going back to those size 2, 3, 4, and 6 jeans. It's not happening unless you
No.
and starve yourself to death, which is crazy, And what I love about what you do, Felicia, is you teach women how to love themselves, starting within. People are always projecting on the outside, comparing themselves to other people. No, you're teaching them that they're beautiful right where they are in this wonderful stage in their lives, because there are women who did not make it to be 50 plus. So if you make it to be 50 plus, that's a blessing, and that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So how
It
did
is.
you segue from the fashion industry into health and wellness?
Well, I worked really hard in the fashion industry, and I worked long, long hours.
Yeah,
And when I had my two sons, after a few years of having them, I wanted to step back. I just wanted to be able to spend some time with them and be a mom.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I stopped working full time and started just doing freelance so that I could control the amount of time that I was at work and balance it with uh, being a mom, which was
yeah.
very important to me.
Mhm.
And, I gradually, as my boys got a little bit older, I was gradually spending more and more time focusing on my health and
Mhm.
having the time to, you know, cook better, use whole foods in all of the meals that I was making.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was in my mid 40s and I was starting to realize that, you know, I'm feeling really good. And some of those
Mhm.
perimenopausal symptoms that I felt were brewing and starting, I'd kind of been able to hold them at bay, which
Mhm.
felt really good. And, my body felt good, my mind was clear,
Mhm.
and it
Mhm.
just felt like the right place to be. And the
Yeah.
thought of working in that fast-paced environment that didn't really show a lot of gratitude to the people in it,
Mhm.
especially an older woman in her
Mm.
40s. We're talking about an industry that thrives on youth and
Yeah.
youth culture. And that's something
Correct.
I've always loved and I still love.
Mhm.
But as you get older, you start to reprioritize a lot of things in your life, and even
Yeah.
your interests start to change.
Yeah.
And that's what I found was happening to me. Not that I didn't still love the industry and still love fashion, I still do, but the thought of immersing myself in that world again just didn't feel right to me.
Mhm.
And what did feel right was taking care of my body and, kind of spreading the word and helping people around me, whether it be my husband or my friends, with, health issues that they were having,
Yeah.
giving them advice. It all just seemed like it was coming together in a way that this was something I loved to do.
Mhm.
And when I thought about it, making my lifestyle my new career, making health and wellness my new career, just seemed like such a natural transition for me.
Mm.
And so, it took a while to wrap my head around that though. It really did.
Mhm.
And that whole idea of accepting yourself for who
Yeah.
you are and where you are at the moment, as
Yeah.
someone who worked in a youth-oriented industry and was
Exactly.
always passionate about that, it took me a long time to accept that my identity was not wrapped up in the fashion industry.
Mhm.
I can be a successful person without working in that industry, and I can be successful helping other women, focusing on health and wellness, and creating an environment that fosters, you know, uh, long-term health,
Mhm.
long-term wellness, long-term happiness. And and that's why a big part of what I like to talk about with my clients, my coaching clients, is accepting that
Yeah.
place that you are, whether you're in your mid 40s or whether you're over 50,
Yeah.
because we evolve and we oftentimes we wrap up our identity in something like a job.
Exactly.
And when that doesn't go right or that changes, what are you left with?
Mhm.
And it took me a long time to figure that out and to accept that. And once I did, I can't tell you how joyful it felt to
Yeah.
be to move into that direction and walk away without feeling like I had to keep turning back and looking.
Mm. Mhm.
And that's not easy for everyone.
No. No, it isn't.
And and it's something that I'm finding more as I speak to more and more women in midlife, it's something that they want to do. They have passions
Yeah.
and they have purpose that after all these years, they're finally discovering it and they
Yeah.
want to pursue it. And it can feel long, and then when you throw in hormonal fluctuations with perimenopause and menopause,
Yeah.
it can feel like a very overwhelming situation. So I think that my journey into health coaching really started with accepting who I was as someone who was not 20 or 25 years old,
Mm-hmm.
is someone who is a woman in midlife, a woman over 50.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's really how that transition began.
Yeah, I think that's really commendable because there's so many carrots in the fashion industry to keep people locked into it in terms of the beauty of it, the fame of it. You can live vicariously through the models. You know, it's all, like you said, fast paced, and a lot of it is ego driven too. So to walk away from it and go in the opposite direction in terms of wellness and health, I commend you because there's so many perks to remain in it. People get caught up with the glamour and the glitz and the money while they're not really self-actualizing. They're not materializing um, their own true goals. They're just going for the money and the fame and the glitz. So,
Yeah. And what you said about, the attraction for it, it's an addiction
mm-hmm,
because you think it's going to keep you young. You
yeah,
think staying in that industry, being surrounded in that world is
yeah,
going to keep you from aging. It's not at
yeah,
all.
yeah,
And and a sign of wisdom and experience, I think, is realizing that and
yeah,
being able to continue on your own path and focus on things that make you happy and things that because we have a whole life to live. I'm so
right,
thankful that I had that experience, and I'm so thankful now that I get to do something totally different because life
right,
is about change. We're always
right,
evolving.
right, right. I agree with you. I think we are redefining things as women who are vibrant and seasoned and mature. We're redefining uh, what is what is beautiful. We're redefining what um, older people should do and look and all of that. So now people I focus still on the external, but also on the internal. And that's something that you also deal with for empowerment. Because when you turn within, it doesn't matter what the latest craze and fashion is. You're concerned more about your peace, you're concerned about your joy, you're concerned about your happiness. And your coaching, your nutritional coaching is absolutely necessary for people who are having these kinds of identity issues, trying to keep up with the Joneses in terms of fashions and just a lot of other stuff like that. So what do women traditionally come to you with in terms of your coaching business? What are some of the key issues that continue to present themselves?
Well, a lot of the traditional perimenopause symptoms that happen, and those are um, hot flashes,
Mm-hmm.
weight gain,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of fatigue,
Yeah.
and anxiety and
Mm-hmm.
depression and joint pain and brain fog. So, what
Mm-hmm.
really happens is women have not been told about how their bodies change
Right.
as they move through perimenopause.
Right.
We learn all about puberty,
Right.
but we don't learn about perimenopause, which is the opposite of puberty.
Mm-hmm.
Puberty is when all your hormones are building up, and then you plateau, right, in your 20s and your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a fertile, your body is fertile, and you're able to reproduce. Well, perimenopause is the opposite of puberty. So your hormones are starting to drop, and it's
Mm-hmm.
natural, and it happens to every woman.
Mm-hmm.
But no one talks about it.
Exactly.
No one learns about it. And so women are left feeling alone and
Yeah.
confused
Yeah.
and wondering what is happening to their bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sadly, the majority of gynecologists aren't even educated in perimenopause and menopause. So I hear from women all the time that they go to their doctor with perimenopausal symptoms, and the doctor says there's nothing that can be done. Or even worse, it's all in their head.
Yes. Yes. And
You
they do.
know,
Yeah.
that stereotypical frantic, crazy woman. Oh, it's all in her head. It's
Yeah.
actually not in her head. She's
Yeah.
actually suffering from a decline in estrogen. And we have estrogen receptors all over our bodies. So as that estrogen drops, you get a myriad of symptoms. And that's why every woman has a different experience with perimenopause and menopause, because as that estrogen is dropping, it's affecting her body in a totally unique way.
Right.
And so women come to me oftentimes not understanding why they feel the way they do. And what we do is we sit down and we talk about what their symptoms are, and then we start talking about their lifestyle and the things that they're eating, the way that they are sleeping, how they're moving. Maybe they might be doing strenuous exercise 6 days a week and wondering why they have so much anxiety and they're gaining weight.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you're once you hit perimenopause, your body cannot withstand a lot of that intense exercise, and it becomes counterintuitive, and it becomes detrimental to your body, and you cause more harm than you're doing good. And women come to me all the time wondering why they can't lose weight, or they're starving themselves and they're not eating enough, thinking that they're going to lose weight, when a drop in estrogen creates all sorts of shifts in how you carry the fat in your body. And they're wondering why they can't get rid of that stomach. So I work with women who suffer from a myriad of symptoms. The 3 a.m. wake up, where you wake up at 3 a.m. every single night.
Yeah.
And so we talk about lifestyle, and we put together a plan to help reduce a lot of, or even eliminate a lot of those symptoms, and in turn create a healthier version of themselves, so that not only do they begin to feel better and be able to move smoothly through perimenopause, but we're setting them up for a healthy future where they are less apt to come down with various chronic diseases and all of the issues that affect women as they get older. So we focus on the here and now, but while doing that, your health improves, and your health and wellness improves for the future as well.
Yeah, but I find that so fascinating, especially the piece that you mentioned about exercising, that people are working out strenuously. Because I experienced that. I was like, I'm not losing weight. Well, I don't like to releasing. I'm not releasing weight. And I'm thin anyway. But I was like, what's going on here? I'm doing all of these vigorous exercises and biking, running, doing everything, walking. And it's shifting maybe 1 point, but not like I had thought in the past that it would. So ladies, over exercising is not going to help you lose weight. As a matter of fact, it will help you maintain that weight.
Yeah, because what happens is, so when you're vigorously exercising, as you get older, it's raising your cortisol levels too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you raise your cortisol levels, that hormone cortisol, that helps you hold, it's a fight or flight hormone, right? It's like what we get when we are, in fear mode.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that it helps you hold on to fat. It's protecting you. So
Mm-hmm.
you raise your cortisol level and your body goes into protection mode. And so higher cortisol is associated with belly fat, at any age, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially as we move in through perimenopause, and become more subject to, that fat kind of, migrating into our midsection. Cortisol is a big factor in that, and strenuous exercise is going to be raising your cortisol level. And it becomes harder to manage that and to moderate your hormone levels, as you're going through perimenopause. So that high state of cortisol and stress in your body creates that inflammation. It just, everything kind of just is going to stay where it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maintain the status quo. So what advice, well, every woman hits the stage at different ages. Some women hit it in the 40s, some in the 60s. Usually by the age of 50, they have experienced some of it at least. Some in
Mm-hmm.
the 30s. So
Yes.
because people think that they're younger, that they, and I'm perimenopausal. I said, no, you probably are. But because there's no age for it. It's some women start having their menstrual cycle very early, so it means that they're going to go into perimenopause early. And some had started their menstrual cycle when they were later, like young adults. So the perimenopausal symptoms may come a lot later. And people just think because they hit a certain age that they're going to stop having menopausal symptoms, and that's not true. So what type diet would you tell someone who's experiencing this to consider?
Well, one of the first things that you need to consider is the amount of sugar that you're
Mm,
eating and the amount of processed foods.
mm,
So, those are going to be triggering all chronic diseases. And they are also going to be triggering all of your perimenopause symptoms as well, because
mm-hmm.
they're creating inflammation. That sugar is raising your insulin in your
Yeah,
blood. So
yeah.
those are some of the worst things that you can be doing, as far as nutrition, is eating too much sugar and processed foods. So
And
that's one of the first.
spices too, right? Spices like cayenne pepper, some others.
Spices can definitely affect your body, as far as things like hot flashes and things
Mm-hmm.
like that as well. And as you move through perimenopause, your digestive system really changes, because your hormones play such a big part in your digestion. So a lot of women, as they move through perimenopause, find that they begin having gut health issues that they didn't have
Mm-hmm.
before.
Mm.
uh, Maybe, bloating and
Yeah,
constipation,
yeah.
things like that. And something like spicy foods is
Mm-hmm.
certainly going to trigger some of those types of afflictions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
But
think, oh, go
whole
ahead.
foods and plants. I know you just said you're vegan, and a vegan diet, or a plant-based diet, is one of the best things that you can do to help to ease perimenopausal symptoms. It's just, you know fruits, vegetables, whole grains, that really helps to balance your body, helps to
Mm-hmm.
balance your hormones.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to balance your blood sugar, which makes a big difference. So
That,
eating more plants in general is a very effective way to help to reduce perimenopausal symptoms. And
mhm,
you don't necessarily have to eat vegan, but
right.
certainly incorporating more plants into your diet is something that almost all women need to be doing.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, you feel better because going through perimenopause, you start feeling lethargic and you got the hormones raging. You have your body not cooperating because it's not releasing weight. Your mind is in a brain fog. You just want to go to sleep. Just go, don't wake
Yeah,
me up until perimenopausal symptoms are over. Let me just go to la la land, go to sleep. Yeah, yeah.
it's
And I think that that's really important and for women to talk to someone like you because, like you said, they educate people about puberty, but not about menopause, which is really interesting. And
yeah, it's well, if you think about it, 5 years ago, had you even heard of the word perimenopause? Probably not. I hadn't.
mhm,
So there's become an awareness, and a lot of it has to do with our generation and some of those a little younger than us moving through this and saying to the world, you know what? It's not okay that you're ignoring this. There, half of the world is going through this process in their bodies where we're changing. And it's time to talk about it. And it's time to help us feel better. And so there's become such an awareness around both perimenopause and menopause that there wasn't 10 or 20 years ago. And that's
mhm,
really wonderful.
mhm.
But obviously, there's a long, long road ahead.
There is.
Just even the amount of research money that's allotted to women's health in midlife
Yeah,
is, with this huge change that we go through is very nominal. So
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of great advocates out there who are really pushing for more research into how these hormonal changes that every woman goes through affects them, not just
Yeah.
in the short term with their symptoms, but does this drop in estrogen affect a woman once she's 60 or
Mhm,
70?
mhm,
Because there's been a lot of research that that drop in estrogen, it can lead to an increase in heart disease. We all
mhm.
know about osteoporosis in
Yeah,
women as they get older. So there's a lot of chronic conditions that are being caused by that drop in estrogen. And that, it's something that people didn't really think that much about for a long time. And finally, there's a lot more attention being brought to women's health in general, and certainly women as they go through perimenopause and menopause. And as those
mhm,
hormones change, how does their body change, and
mhm,
how does chronic disease affect them moving forward as their hormones have dropped, estrogen specifically?
mhm. Yeah, I think there needs to be more education about it. And sometimes women don't desire to admit that they're having perimenopausal symptoms because it means that they are dating themselves, telling their age. So
Yeah.
they may look like they're 30, but if you're going through perimenopause, I don't think you're in your 30s. You could be older. So
True.
it's
Yes.
a subject that they keep behind closed doors because they don't desire for people to really know that much about it because you can deal with it using a plant-based diet and be very effective, very effective.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, our society, our culture values youth.
Mm-hmm.
And going through perimenopause and menopause is a very definitive sign that
Mm-hmm.
you're not youthful. You're moving through, it's midlife, right? You're moving into midlife, and we don't value women in midlife. We value young women, and as you get older, our society has, pushed older women to the side,
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
now we are all standing up and
Yeah.
saying, no, no, no. Get research our medical issues, find
Yes.
out what's going on, give us
Yes.
the information,
Yes.
and and we're all going to support each other. There's
Yes.
a wonderful movement on social media with older women, women over 40, women over 50, and everyone's like, I'm proud to
Yeah.
be this age, and it's a really inspiring and uplifting thing to see, women who are, in midlife, embracing each other and supporting each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's wonderful because you women are beginning to create a sisterhood to
Hmm.
support them. And
Yes.
also too, I think that's what we're doing with Gray Lives on the Rise. We're educating people about the things that are important to us at this stage. So women who are perimenopausal, they can redefine all of that, whereby doctors never use the words you're just being hysterical or histrionic when you're going through a hormonal change. So having women band together to support this movement, perimenopausal movement, I think it's really amazing. So they can celebrate the menopause, menstrual cycle is pausing, like they celebrated coming into their cycle. So I think
Hmm.
we need to celebrate all phases of our lives.
Yeah, it's,
So,
and it is a whole new phase of life
mm-hmm,
that you enter, and you know, it's it's not a phase where you shut down. It's just a new phase of life that honestly can open up so many doors for you because you have all the experience. You have all
mm,
that wisdom that, we have all this wisdom and this experience,
mm-hmm,
because we've lived for 50 some odd years.
right,
And it's really exciting to go on a new journey when you're not doing it, blindfolded, so to
yeah,
speak, like you
yeah,
do when you're 20 or 25. You
yeah,
think you know everything, but you really don't know anything when you're that age. But we've
exactly.
lived we've lived a whole life of experiences. So it's really empowering to have women with all of that experience banding together and, you know, taking charge of their health.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think by having movements like yours and like Great Lives on the Rise, it empowers women. Because there are women who are around who just don't know what to do, where to turn. And like I said, it's for a lot of women, it's a badge of honor to say you're going through menopause, because then you don't have to worry about the monthly discomfort. But then there are others who feel because they no longer are able to have children, that their value is diminished. And that's really
Mhm.
unfortunate. And that's why some don't talk about it around men, because they don't want men to know that they're in a certain age category, because a lot of men are ageist. No, well, quite a few are ageist. So I think by having you at the helm and having people who desire to know more information is key. It's critical. It's critical. What would you like to leave for people? But before we get there, we have about 20 minutes left. Give people your contact information, Felicia, so if they
Oh,
want
sure.
to get in touch with you.
Sure. So I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok, and I have a website, and everything is Felicia Jackson Wellness. So it's FELICIA JacksonWellness. So Felicia Jackson Wellness. And you can find me on Facebook too. I'm not nearly as active, but I'm very active on Instagram. I'm very active on TikTok. So, and then my website is FeliciaJackson.com. And I offer a free 45-minute hack your hormones strategy session, so
like
that all of my, to dive deep with, potential clients and find out about their symptoms and what their health and wellness goals are. And we, talk a little bit about if my coaching might be a good fit with, where they are in their health journey.
And I think we all need support in different areas. And it does not mean that you are not capable or vibrant or any of those things. And I think people, particularly women, have bought into that stereotype that if you need someone, if you would like for someone to assist you, it means that you're weak. No, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you need someone to assist you. So with you, you're there to assist people to step into
Sure. And
the,
it's women who are empowered to take control of their health. So there's nothing weak about wanting to, take care of your body, because we're not experts in everything. I don't know everything about, fixing a car. Why would I think that I can go and fix my own car? I spend a lot of time focusing on, nutrition and lifestyle changes that are going to help women feel better. But if you have a career, you have kids, you're taking care of aging parents, you don't have time to focus on that. And you certainly don't have time to weed through everything on the internet and Google it and try to figure it out for yourself. So there's nothing weak about going to someone who has some expertise and some additional knowledge that's going to be able to help you. We go to experts all the time, and there's nothing wrong with it. It just shows that we have the wisdom and the experience to know that we need some support, because we don't know everything all of the time.
I think that's really, really amazing. And by having people know about you and your wonderful gifts and talents and insights, they can then contact you if they're feeling lethargic, if they're feeling like they're climbing up an upscale, not upscale, but climbing the ladder and not going anywhere. So because they're trying to do too much on their own, and people tend to self-isolate because they don't want others to judge them or know that they're going through menopause. That was really a common issue by 20 years ago. People were not owning the fact that they were going through menopause, and so they had symptoms unnecessarily. So I love this. I love this. So you're when people come to you, do you have workshops? Do you do one-on-one counseling? Do you do group therapy? What can a person?
I mostly work with clients one-on-one. And we, after speaking with them and working with them, we put together a health and wellness plan that's very unique to their individual needs.
Because it's not one size fits all, like those dresses.
That's true. Yes, everyone experiences health in their own unique way. And it doesn't really matter if it's perimenopause or if it's anything else. Our bodies are unique, and how they function is unique to us, and no one else is going to be exactly the same. So it's important to be able to move past that one size fits all when it comes to health and wellness, because what works for one woman as far
Mhm.
as relieving perimenopausal symptoms might make another woman's symptoms worse.
Yes,
Everyone is so different.
or create anxiety. That is true. So we have to get away from this template mentality where one size fits all. That's
Yeah.
true. And it causes women who are having issues to be viewed upon in a negative light, because and all of these models were not based on women. Most of the health models were not based using women. They're male oriented. They were created by
Yes, which is why we have so little research on midlife women, because all of the health models and all of the health research that's been done over the last 50 or 75 years has been done on men.
yeah.
And the only real health and wellness research that's been done on women is on younger women around childbirth, right?
Mm-hmm.
About, but
Health.
once you have
Mhm.
moved past that, as you mentioned, there is that very old fashioned mentality that once you can't have children, you aren't useful
Right.
anymore.
You're not valuable.
And
Correct.
yeah, and that goes back to the beginning of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken this long for us to finally start to move past that and embrace the accomplishments and the potential of women in midlife and older.
But I agree 100% with you. It's making people aware of these issues, letting them know that they're not alone, letting them know that they have a wonderful coach like you who can guide them through. There's someone who has the background, who has the training. She's not just someone talking. She has the training, she's done the work, she's done the research, and she's using herself also as an example, but she's also guiding the right certifications to help you. So I implore people out there, women, do not suffer in silence. There's nothing wrong with going through menopause or perimenopausal, because the perimenopausal symptoms can last 15 years or more, depending on the diet.
Yeah. I mean, some women start perimenopause and start having symptoms in their mid 30s.
Yeah.
And the average is, it can last from 7 to 10 years, or sometimes even longer. So, and oftentimes as women move through menopause, those symptoms don't go away. So you're still struggling with some of those symptoms. So, by figuring out, what lifestyle changes that you can make to alleviate that discomfort that you're feeling, it allows you to just live a fulfilled and joyful life instead of feeling like you're not in control of your body.
And just moping along, because that's what
Yeah.
people feel like. These things are happening to me, not for me. I don't have any recourse. I have to suffer in silence. And Felicia is showing you you don't have to. And she's an expert in the field. So please get in touch with her as soon as you can. Her information, she stated, I'm going to have her stated again, and it's going to be in the comments section below, so you can get in touch with her. And it's private. You don't have to worry about someone else knowing what she discussed with you. So
Absolutely. Yes. It's
private. It's a private
HIPAA compliant. So it's all, private, confidential.
Yeah.
No one knows that you're, basically improving your health and wellness and doing something for yourself. I mean, I
Yes.
think you should stand on the top of a mountain and shout
Yeah.
it. But if you don't want to, then that's fine too. It's up to you. But
Yeah.
yes, I'd encourage anyone who's interested in learning more, get in touch. And I would love to chat.
Yeah. Yeah. And she is going to give you a complimentary session, a discovery call when you call her.
Yes, we have, yes. So I have, like I said, a 45-minute complimentary call, and I call it the Hack Your Hormones call.
I like that.
And, we're gonna sit down and, I always have I have potential clients fill out a health history form, so I can find a little bit more about their background and, what they're struggling with and what their health goals are, moving forward. And with that information in hand, we'll have a Zoom call and chat about it and, see if coaching would be beneficial and if my coaching would be a good fit with a potential woman. So I encourage anyone and everyone to please, give me shoot me a DM. You can contact me through my website, and I would love to chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Felicia. So in 1 minute or less, what would you like to leave with our wonderful audience? And this information is for you too, males, because you're trying to figure out what's going on with the women in your life. We're telling you what's going on with them. It's hormonal. She has not lost her mind. It's hormonal. So with the parting statement, what?
Well, I think I'd like to say that that when you take control of your health, you really take control of such a huge portion of your life.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are going by us, right, in life that we can't control. But by taking control of your health and understanding what's going on with your body and your mind, it really allows you to be grounded and present in your life. And it not only, like I mentioned, sets you up for health today, but it sets you up with a body that is going to be able to carry you through the rest of your years.
Yeah, and with good health. We don't have to just inch our way through the second half of our
Exactly.
lives. Yeah, and Felicia, thank you so much for being there and present for women who need this kind of support, and also just being so guided. How I see you is that you are very astute about what's going on, but you also are very compassionate because you're guided by the inner voice from within, that intuitive voice to help women go through this stage of their lives gleefully, not sadly and dreading it like you had in your thing. They're not dreading it, but just happy that they made it to this stage, because there are women who did not make it. So if you're here and you're present and you're over 50, that in itself is such a gift. And we need to start looking at it as a gift and just being very, very grateful and thankful. So Felicia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a wonderful conversation, and I just love the inspiration that you give with Gray Lives on the Rise and the movement, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it.
Yes, and thank you so much again. And for those of you who have not become a member of this amazing movement, Gray Lives on the Rise, you can go to our Facebook page and ask to join. Go to our YouTube channel, click like and subscribe. And then you can also go to our store and you can see our wonderful merchandise. This is amazing. So thank you, everyone. And until the next time, be safe and continue to live a joyful, peaceful, happy life. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Gray Lives on the Rise. being brought to you by Jamila Scents, which is the product line of Oyende Enterprises. Jamila Scents is a 100% natural aromatherapy line that heals the mind, body, and soul. This episode of Great Lives on the Rise was intended to uplift you, to inspire you, and to motivate you. Please tell all of your friends, family members, and anyone you know who's 50 plus, who's living a vibrant life and interested in doing more and enjoying life even to its fullest. So thank you, and please subscribe, like, and comment on this video and all our videos. Thank you, and until next time, until our next podcast, namaste and be well.